You are looking live here in beautiful Salt Lake City, Utah, here at the DNA Sports HQ, DNA HQ as I like to call it. How's it going, AJ?
I'm doing great, buddy. I'm doing really good. How are you?
I am living the dream, man. It has been not sunny, which is great here, the last couple of days. It's been nice to be a little colder.
Yes.
A little bit better fall weather.
My mic's still messing with me, dude. It's not comfortable. I don't know what's going on with it. I'm going to make it. I'm just going to make it work.
He's going to make it work, folks. If this game isn't up to par, you just blame the mic. Okay,
absolutely. Yeah. If I say anything dumb, it's definitely the mic's fault.
Yeah. So we have a fly in here. It's going to drive us nuts all show. So
you said you got rid of it.
I thought I did. I thought I got him, but apparently I didn't. This is quality content, folks.
Quality stuff. Make sure you subscribe.
That's right. Once again, folks, if you are watching this on our live stream, please feel free to jump into the chat there and let us know where you're watching from and who you're rooting for, what you're watching us for. We'd love to hear from you. It's a little knob down there. When it goes up like that, you can just tighten that little knob right there. It's probably just loose. A little bit more rigidity.
It's better.
It's better. All right.
It's better.
Your boy AJ,
we're getting there. We're getting there.
Needs to have it like
I messed with it all pre-show and I couldn't get it right either way. So whatever. Let's get into it.
Let's definitely get into it. All right. So we got a lot to talk about today. Lots of stuff going on today for sure.
Absolutely.
So should be good. Should be a good show. Looking forward to it. We got a little bit of Utah football, a little bit of Pac-12 question mark to talk about today.
Yeah. I mean, at least something happened with the Pac-12, so we can talk about that.
Yeah, which is great. We also have some NHL stuff to talk about. Your Utah Hockey Club. Dude, it's game week for Utah Hockey Club.
Yes.
Game week.
Things are about to start happening.
Things are happening. And then and you know what you gotta love about the Utah Jazz, the hits just keep coming, man. We'll talk a little bit more about that. And hopefully, we'll see how that goes. But we'll got hope for that. Anyway, moving on. We also have some MLB talk that we're just definitely going to talk about as well. So all that and more today on today's show. So before we get into it, let's go ahead and do our pre-show cheers.
Yes,
Cheers
sir.
to you.
Cheers to you, my friends.
All right. So let's go ahead and do our little pre-launch into the podcast here.
Yep.
Okay, perfect. So once again, folks, if you're watching on the live stream, please feel free to jump into the chat and conversate along with us. We'd love to hear from you. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into it. You want to do the college football piece? I'll do the NHL, you do Jazz, and then I'll do MLB.
Yeah, let's review Utah versus Utah State and break down the upcoming game versus Oklahoma State.
Yeah, do that. You skipped the intro. So we got to do the intro first.
Oh.
But say exactly that. If you can remember everything precisely.
Okay.
It's awesome. All right. Hello, Internet. Welcome to the show. Thank you for joining us on this episode of the DNA Sports Recap.
Let's break down the game against Utah State and preview the upcoming game versus Oklahoma State University.
It is game week for your Utah Hockey Club. We have our first preseason game against the Blues. Let's go ahead and break it down.
And the Utah Jazz are at the end of an era. Let's talk about it.
In Major League Baseball, we're going to see advertisements on the helmet in the postseason. Definitely. All that and more. My name is Darren. That is AJ. And this is the DNA Sports Recap.
Roll the intro.
How's it going, AJ?
I'm doing great, buddy. I'm doing really great. How are you?
I'm doing well, man. Doing well. It's a lovely day here in Salt Lake City.
I think my mic's working now.
That's
I think
great.
That's where I want it.
That's great.
I think I can't decide.
It's all good. It's all good.
Yeah.
First world problems over here, DNA HQ. Can't get the mic sitting exactly where we want.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and jump into a little bit of college football, shall we?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. So
yeah.
Now, again, just about the nature of how our channel works, as soon as we hit stop on record for this, as soon as we click off that Globe Live button, well, you can
usually get a da-na-na.
It's something big went down.
Breaking news.
Exactly. And what happened last week when that happened?
Well, pretty much precisely, I think it was approximately 54 minutes after we stopped recording, because I texted you a message and said, dude. And of course, the Pac-12 had reached an agreement with Boise State, Colorado State, Fresno State, and San Diego State to all join, to pretty much for them to leave the Mountain West Conference and join Oregon State and Washington State in the Pac-12 prior to the 26-27 season.
Yeah, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Which is basically kind of what we thought. I mean, I hate to, toot our horn or tap ourselves on the back here, but we both saw this happening a little bit.
Yeah.
We talked about it last year, but, it's not really rocket science of the reason why those two schools didn't go anywhere and why they fought for the naming rights. This wasn't going to be something they were going to try and do. But what's weird that this happened right in the middle of the season. Like, this is normally the end of the year type stuff, or maybe the off season type stuff.
Yeah, kind of curious that it happened the way it did.
It's a little weird how it happened the way it did. So first, let's go ahead and talk about that it's been a few years since the 100-year conference of the Pac-12 broke up, which is still something outside of the fact, being a Utes fan and how I felt about the conference at that point, and the great lineup of schools that we had that just made sense competitively and also geographically.
Yes.
From both perspectives, it was a great conference, right?
It really was too.
All that history blown up over a lack of, acceptable TV deal money, basically.
Yeah, all about media rights.
The middle finger to 100 years of history. I mean, that's the same conference Jackie Robinson came from, man.
Yeah.
Playing for USC in
the
football.
Pac-8.
Yeah, exactly. Way back in the day. So, it's still to this day bothers me. And it was completely unnecessary, all just simply because of incompetent leadership over the last 15 years at the head of that conference there. And, it's just absolutely disgusting. They had to have their offices in downtown San Francisco, $35,000 a month rent payment in their office building, while the SEC is like in a windowless, one-story brick building. It just didn't make any sense. Anyway, I digress. For me, the whole incompetence of how the Pac-12 was run for the last 15 years just blows my mind.
Yeah.
Hopefully they're not doing that again this time around.
I highly doubt it. I think they're going to probably be a little bit smarter about getting some of these media rights deals and making sure that they can keep teams and pay them. I don't know if you saw, but the 6 schools that are going to be obviously in the Pac-12 will be paying the Mountain West Conference more than $100 million just to get them out of the conference.
Yeah, I saw that. I thought that was pretty impressive. Now, as far as that goes, what's your immediate reaction to this?
To that dollar amount?
No, to the fact that these schools joined. What was your immediate reaction in the news?
I mean, these are all good programs, and I just feel like you're just robbing Peter to pay Paul at some point. Like, when does this downslide end?
Right.
Yeah, I mean, where it's literally just you come here, you move there, everybody's happy. I mean, I guess at some point you just disassemble the Mountain West Conference. I think you've got to have a 75% vote. None of the schools that you've already taken can vote at this point. So at some point you're going to have to completely dissolve a conference with all of the realignment.
Well, see, this kind of plays well into what I was talking about, and I wanted to bring it up on a subject on this show for a long time. We'll save that for next week. Reason why we believe the Pac-12 is going to come back, and we'll preview that for next week. Little tease there. Now, obviously, you need 8 teams in order to make a full conference, so there's lots of talks about what teams could possibly be rumored to be joining. And obviously, sorry, Utah State fans, you're not on the list. There are about 7 teams ahead of you that have to say no in order for Utah State to be considered. But you want to run down the potentials so far?
I mean, yeah, there's obviously a bunch of potentials. I mean, some of the strong ones are probably UNLV, Air Force. I mean, I don't know why they don't try to go after Cal, that just recently joined the ACC and left the Pac-12. Stanford did the exact same thing, or both in the ACC now. And yes, they have deals, but like, you've got to be immediately regretting traveling not even half, all the way across the country to play 50% of your games.
Yeah, well, we know it's all about the dollars, right? Because that's the reason why they walked away from the Pac-12. Apparently, not guaranteed $100 million deal from Apple TV wasn't good enough, right?
Right.
So what it ended up being is the difference of about 15 million per school. Why all the Pac-12 teams just left.
Right.
I think that's what the Utes ended up settling on against what they would have had in the Pac-12 if they would have stayed. However, yeah, like you mentioned, Cal and Stanford are speculated to return, which they are committed to the ACC till the summer of 2036, which that is a 12-year agreement. So the $100 million,
all of them were agreed to conferences.
Yeah, well, the $100 million, those Mountain West teams are getting paid, right?
Yeah.
You got to imagine what that dollar amount's going to be to pay back to get out of that contract. And they all signed a grant of rights to do so. So all teams, including the ones that are currently suing the ACC to get out of that deal, that conference just seems like a mess. So I would agree with you that those are probably likely to be teams that would actually join. But also when it comes to that, I would say the other side of it is I really think that UNLV, either Wyoming, Tulane, or even Memphis are also probably potentials there. I see that those folks are more likely than poaching teams from the ACC that just joined before they even really got going.
I'd really like to keep. I really hope they keep the Pac-12 a West Coast conference.
Yeah, I agree.
And if you get so far out there, you get into Tulane and Memphis. Like, these teams are Midwest at best. Midwest. I don't know. They're just out there. I don't know. I loved the Pac-12 the way that it was put together before, because it was a great conference. I mean, just geographically, it was excellent. 10 hours, you could be anywhere.
Yeah, it was great. It was a great
especially
conference.
from Salt Lake City.
Yeah, especially from here, because we're in the heart of it.
Yeah.
We got a comment there from Aaron on the subject there. He says, yeah, it's ridiculous. You had the Pac-12 with 6 schools and the Big 10 with 18 teams.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And again, I'll kind of get into it a little bit more next week on where I think this is actually all going, because like we've said before several times on this channel, is the Utes and BYU being in the Big 12 is just an audition for something greater.
Yeah.
The next change and the next shift in college football, for sure. It also says there from Aaron, they shouldn't have gone.
They shouldn't go any further than Colorado. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Geographically, Colorado's like as far east as you should go. Yeah. Because Colorado was kind of stretching it.
maybe a Texas team. I think that's too far.
I think it's too far, man. I mean, I think
Fly a
at
lot
that
to
point
Texas.
you're in
It's
the
like
Big
4
12.
hours. Yeah, that's true. You're in the Big
You know
12
what I mean?
country.
You're in the Big 12 country.
Absolutely. Appreciate the comments, Aaron. Thank you for keeping them coming. But yeah, so I don't know, man.
Another one up there?
Yes.
No.
Yes, there's another comment there, but I'm not sure. I can't really tell if it's relevant. I'll let you. Can you read them?
I can't read them from here.
Okay, can you pull them up on the thing here?
Yeah.
So just tell me if it's relevant. I'm not sure if it is or not, so that's kind of why I'm not going into it. But yeah, so again, you mentioned there the reported $100 million buyout for those teams to join, and again, this is preferencing that they're not joining until 2026 season. That's when they're going to be joining the conference there. So interesting.
Gotcha.
Interesting. So you can just turn the music down, the audio down. That works too. But yeah, so again, we want to hear from you folks. Let us know. Put your glasses on, Jay.
Thanks, Aaron. I got my contacts in.
Appreciate it.
You don't know the struggle, man. Okay. You don't know the struggle.
That's right. I got LASIK a couple of years ago.
And plus, you got glasses. I don't even want to hear it.
I'm not going back, man. After LASIK, probably the best $3,000 I ever spent in my life. But anyway, so
I need it.
Yeah. So I don't know. You tell me. What do you think? Does that make any sense to you?
No, I don't even know what they're about. Yeah.
Yeah. So sorry, Jonathan. We'd read your comments out loud, but I'm not quite sure what you're meaning there, and we don't want to just have some random stuff that's not related. So appreciate though. Thanks for joining us, and thanks for jumping into the comments. We appreciate it. All right, let's go ahead and pivot on over. Now we spent about 10 minutes there on that. More to come on that. So definitely let us know in the comments down below, folks. If you're watching this on YouTube, we want to hear from you. Let us know what you think about the reemergence of the Pac-12. Which two teams do you think they'll get? Do you think this? Actually, I think this was kind of strategic. Before we get into that, I think this is why they stopped at 6 teams, because now they got a bidding option on their hands. Now they got schools calling them because they know they need 2 more teams, and by only announcing 6 teams, only signing 6 teams, there's plenty of other teams in different conferences.
Yeah, but also they'll probably take the conference back up to 16 teams.
I don't know about 16, but definitely up to at least
12,
probably 12. Yeah.
I
don't think there's enough, like you mentioned, good talent out there. I think from here on out, they're not focused on the Mountain West. I think they're going to focus on the Big 10, the Big 12, the ACC.
Try to poach a couple teams.
Yeah, and kind of get the powerhouses from the Pac-12 back, I think is kind of where they're going at with that. So, but anyway, it'll be interesting to see. We want to hear from you folks. Let us know in the comments down below what you think. Let us know if if there's a specific team that we didn't mention that you think is the front runner. Love to hear from you on that for sure. That ship's kind of sailed for our teams though, for sure, here in Utah.
Yeah, they're pretty deep into the Big 12 at this point.
Yeah, so it's probably not going to happen. So that's probably going to be a dream down the road. Anyway, so let's go ahead and move on over to local teams, shall we? Let's go ahead and recap a little bit about let's talk Utah versus Utah State, shall we?
Yeah.
All right, so
let's do it.
So again, this game was I have to say this game didn't start the way I was expecting it to. We'll start that. But
no.
As far as the game goes, though, Isaac Wilson did show some confidence in the second half.
I'm pretty impressed.
239 yards, 3 touchdown passes for his first start for Utah. Really kind of started to feel more comfortable with him after that first. He said that he really started to feel more comfortable after that first drive. Really showed some growth to me. It's really nice to know that Utah finally, for the first time in like 3 years, has a confident QB2 on the roster, which is great.
Confident and talented, which is crazy because he can make the big throws and he can go through his progressions. And I mean, this is a much different scenario than we've been in past years.
Yeah, which is great. And it's not, it's more, we didn't question the talent. We knew preseason that the guy coming out of spring ball, the guy can hurl the ball. The talent in the arm was definitely always there. It was just whether or not, the complications of the Utah playbook, which I still don't think is fully open to him yet. But I love seeing the progression there, man. He really, technically a road game,
Yeah, absolutely.
Like 20 miles up the road, but it's technically a road game. It counts.
It's absolutely a road game.
Yeah.
And you're still playing in front of a hostile crowd. I mean, just because there's 25,000 of them, that's still 25,000 people that aren't on your side.
Exactly. Micah Bernard added another 100.
That's the biggest crowd he's ever played in front of that weren't
That's
on his
true.
team.
That's
you know what I
very true.
mean?
This guy was a high school football player in April. So,
Yeah.
This is kind of a big deal. So it was great to see him not, to perform up to that. We also had Micah Bernard adding 123 rushing yards. That is his second 100-plus yard game in a row and his fourth of his career in college.
Dude, and he just ran tough. He ran hard. He was just dishing out stiff arm after stiff arm after stiff arm. He was stiff arming everybody. And I mean, he was just that true running back one that Utah hasn't had.
Mm-hmm.
For these first couple of games, we needed somebody to just kind of step up and show they are the guy that's going to get the ball when we need a couple of yards, and that's totally what Micah Bernard did.
Yeah, did a great job.
Mm-hmm.
Going onto the Utah State side, Bryson Barnes, friend of the channel. Just kidding.
Absolutely.
Anybody once a Ute, always a Ute, in my opinion. There, depending on which.
Yeah, and we got no ill will against Bryson Barnes. I mean, the dude played his heart out for Utah while he was here.
Absolutely. 223 passing yards, 2 touchdowns.
I find it really comical because I listened to a couple different YouTube media channels predicting how Utah's going to do in this game against Oklahoma State, and
were they as good as we were?
Well, and no, because the problem is these guys don't know anything about Utah football. So they're sitting here saying oh, why did they get torched by Utah State? This team just got blanked by USC, and USC's defense is terrible. It took everything in me not to just scream at the top of my lungs, which it wasn't live, so it would have done me no good. But Bryson Barnes played quarterback at the University of Utah. Of course he knows how to pick apart this defense.
Yeah.
It's literally all he did. You couldn't have found somebody that had more experience against a defense than this guy and this defense in the whole country.
It's been less than a year since he was under center for the Utah.
He absolutely understands every scheme. And they said in the post-game conference that Bryson Barnes was they literally changed some of their coverages to try to disguise him from Barnes because he knew everything they were running.
Right.
And as they disguised him is when it was easier for him. They went back to the regular coverages that they usually run, and it ended up working better in the second half.
Yeah.
Than the disguised ones.
Yeah, I would have to agree there. A lot of people were freaking out about how Utah was down originally in this game. Was it 14-3, I think was the score at one point.
Yeah.
And everybody was just freaking out, why aren't we blanking these guys? We're not a real player in this league unless we're blanking these guys. And yeah. People just obviously weren't paying that close attention to, maybe short-term memory. I don't know.
I don't get how you miss that.
Yeah.
Right.
A lot of people on Twitter,
he has played this scheme 1,000 times in practice.
Yep.
He knows exactly what they're doing. He knows what the coverages look like. He knows when he can throw it out. And those guys made some great catches.
Yeah, they did.
Bryson did not throw great balls. Right. He had a couple good ones, but they made some great catches.
2 picks too. So,
Yeah, but they made some great catches. They had a running back that was really putting everything on the line. Faison played a great game. I will be very surprised. I don't know if he's a senior. I missed that. But if he isn't a senior, he will be playing in a major Division I program next year. Guaranteed.
Nice.
That dude is talented. He sees the holes. He's really quick. Really liked him as a running back.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, there's also the Baylor basketball star
Caleb Lohner. Yeah,
had some usage, got a touchdown pass.
Yep,
exactly the same type of play that he got against SUU
that he missed. Same ball though.
Yeah, exactly.
Same ball though.
Yeah, but great to see him get some action in there. That's 2 touchdown passes for your Baylor boy the basketball. So that's great to see. Concerns again, the sluggish start on the offense. Yes, but we kind of squashed that on what the really kind of why that happened, and we took care of business when they needed to going down the stretch, right?
Absolutely.
It's nothing that the Utah defense couldn't, keep the game close in this scenario, right?
Yeah.
So but facing the team that's, right behind you in the rankings, you can't really rely on that, right? So what I mean by that is you can't let a sluggish start and hoping that your defense is going to carry you when you're going up against, we'll talk about that more. Do you got anything else you want to break down on the whole?
No,
Utah versus
that's
Utah
what
State?
I got on Utah State.
Okay.
Is we took care of business. In closing, we did what we were supposed to do. We went there, we got the win. Everyone left healthy. Let's take it with a 2 thumbs up. And we didn't have to play Cam because we're going to need him this week.
Mm-hmm.
And we can move the hell on, get into conference play, and let's Yeah.
Yeah, we'll move on from that for sure. A few things that stood out to me again when it comes to that is, again, the defense. You can't rely on that. The defense also allowed 3 for 3 on fourth downs through the first 3 quarters for that Utah State team. That's not something you can repeat against next week's opponent, which is going to be Oklahoma State. Let's go ahead and preview that game, shall we?
Yep, we sure should.
All right, so the Utes head to Stillwater, and they are currently tied. Oklahoma. Let's talk a little bit about Oklahoma, right?
Oklahoma State.
Oklahoma State, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Thank you for clarifying, because that team is now in the SEC.
Yes, so, exactly.
Yeah. Lots of movement, man. Lots of movement. So when it comes to
not even sure what that means.
Well, I did ask if you had to go ahead and drop in the comments and let us know where you're repping. So that's technically a response. So anyway, but yeah, love it. Anyway, so let's go ahead and preview Utah versus Oklahoma State in Stillwater. Oklahoma State is currently tied for 7th in points per game at 27.7 points per game. They are tied. They have this. They are 7th in passing yards per game. Passing yards per game at 341.3 per game. Alan Bowman, the quarterback, has a quarterback rating of 79.6, which is good for 23rd in the country. He had a huge first game, and he's been riding that confidence ever since.
Mm-hmm. Against South Dakota State.
Right. Well, yeah, exactly. But
and don't get me wrong, a top FCS school, but you're Oklahoma State University.
True.
You are the top half of the Big 12 conference.
Mm-hmm.
You need to absolutely dominate this football game, and they did.
Right.
You're still not playing Division. You're not playing Division I football players in this game.
For that, Alan Bowman ranked 23rd in the country, by the way. Cam Rising is ranked 9th, according to ESPN, by the way. So the line opened up for Oklahoma State at -1, and then it moved to Oklahoma State -3. Then it moved to Utes -1. And now, I believe at the time of recording, it could have changed. It's now sitting Utes -2.
-2.5, right?
Yes, I have 2. Did he move to 2.5?
The last I checked, it was Utes by 2.5.
Okay. That sucker, man. It just slides around a whole bunch. So that basically tells you that a whole bunch of big fish bettors out there saw the line at Oklahoma State -1 and bet big on the Utes, and now they had to move the line.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's really tough to bet against Vegas, but I just think that's kind of a key indicator, though. The part that really jumped out at me is, you know what the points total is it for this game? The projected points total for this one?
I don't.
Combined points total is 54.5.
54. So we're going to end up with a 21-24 game? No,
yeah.
26-29?
To me, it seems a little high.
Yeah.
Seems a little high. I'm just saying. I don't know. It just seems a little high for me there. What I think is interesting is that Alan Bowman took 967 yards to get 8 touchdowns through 2 interceptions, by the way. Cam Rising has only 346 yards to get 7 touchdowns, no interceptions. So when it comes to the QB battle, that's definitely going to be a point in Utah's favor. And also, Alec Bowman is another COVID kid. He is on his 6th year of eligibility with Oklahoma State, while Cam Rising, again, Rise U1, he is our 7th year senior. There's a couple of quarterbacks that are going to be applying for Social Security for Utah college football this year.
Pretty soon, yeah.
Yeah, so insane. Really funny about that is the combined age of the primetime Monday Night Football game.
Saw this, yeah.
Of those 2 quarterbacks in Tennessee versus Chicago. I believe it was Tennessee versus Chicago, right?
No, Chicago versus the Panthers.
Was it the Panthers? I can't remember. Monday Night Football game. You guys know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
But the combined age between those 2 quarterbacks is 5 years younger than the matchup that's coming on tonight. I mean, it's coming up this week for Oklahoma State and Utah, which is mind-blowing. Mind-blowing. There are people in their draft class when it comes to that, with their eligibility, where they were brought into. There are people on their 2nd NFL contracts right now.
Yeah.
In their class.
So in their initial years of eligibility.
Exactly. They're on their 2nd NFL contract.
Pretty impressive.
Yeah. Impressive.
Still playing college football.
Hey, I'm not going to blame them, man. Why go to the pros and get drafted in the 2nd round and sit on a bench somewhere, be on the practice squad where you can play football for the Utes and make $1 million by doing it. Can't hate that.
Yeah.
Can't hate that at all. So
I'm mad at him.
Definitely not. So what's your breakdown of this game?
So there's a couple things here. Oklahoma State is currently scoring 42.67 points per game, and they're allowing 20.33 points per game. The three opponents that they have played, and this goes back to my good old saying, bro, they ain't played nobody.
Put it on a t-shirt.
And not that the Utes have, right? Because I got to be clear about that.
Utes played Baylor. That's a conference.
Yeah, and these guys played South Dakota State. Then they played Arkansas, which is an SEC team.
That counts.
And then they played Tulsa. But the Arkansas game was only decided by one score. I mean, it was only decided by 8 points. So Arkansas gave them everything they could handle. And that's kind of like their closest competitor, right? Like we played Baylor, they played Arkansas. Oklahoma State gave up 648 yards of offense to Arkansas. Damn near 700 yards of offense to this team, which broke out to 416 yards of passing and 232 rushing yards. That is horrendous. That team, the big thing to take away here is the Arkansas offensive line is not even half as good as Utah's.
Right.
Like we're talking miles different, right? Like the Utah's offensive line is much more experienced. They are a much better all-around unit than Arkansas's is. And Arkansas absolutely torched OK State.
Right.
So that's going to be real rough. Definitely something to keep an eye on, because the last time they played a team that had a semi-talented offensive line that wasn't an FCS school, they really got cooked. Yeah, they won the game, but you're not giving Utah 648 yards and winning that game guaranteed.
Right.
So I do got a shout out to Jaquindon Jackson.
Right.
He plays for Arkansas, had a great line against Oklahoma State for Arkansas. So that's my guy right there. I wish him nothing but the best. I loved seeing him in a Utes uniform. And he's currently wearing 22 for Arkansas. So
nice. What's a Ute?
Yep, exactly. So Utah's currently scoring 36.67 points a game. They're allowing roughly 11 through their 3 games. Obviously, yes, they are. SUU, Baylor, Utah State. They didn't allow any points against SUU. Utah State got a couple, like we said before on our Utah State clip. Bryson Barnes did have some experience against the defense. And he did get some points up against us. So, but Baylor, we really took care of business. We only allowed a few field goals and a touchdown. Like the Utes defense was absolutely smothering. So I mean, with the being said that the Utah State game, we've determined it wasn't just a fluke, right? We know that it was very methodical. They knew exactly what they have. The big question being asked by national media is this Utah defense as good as everyone says that it is? What is your opinion?
I'm going to go with hell yes.
Okay.
I'm going to go with hell yes. And the reason for that is just, it's just as long as Colin Whittingham is the head coach of this football team, they're going to be a defense first team.
Yep.
I've been watching enough Utah football, especially over the last couple of years, to know how he likes to play his football game. He wants to score enough points to where he knows that he can let the defense win the game. And so do I think that they're one of the top 10 defenses in the country? Absolutely. I think they are.
Statistically, they absolutely are.
And do I think they're the top defense in this conference? I would also say yes, they are.
Yep. So I 100% agree. I think this defense is just as good, if not better, than everything that we've seen. Oklahoma State is going to have trouble running the football, and they rely very heavily on Ollie Gordon too, to push through and get him some yards and come through with those hard third down yardages and stuff like that. I don't know if Bowman, he's going to have enough time to make any of these decisions that he had. He made some good decisions against South Dakota State. This isn't South Dakota State.
No,
that's all there is to it. This defensive line is going to be coming after you all day long, every single time. You're going to be running. You're going to have to keep your eyes downfield. And if you make a mistake crossing, you probably turn the ball over, because that's just who the University of Utah is. They force turnovers. They're quick. They're fast. This game I think that Utah is going to show that they are the superior team in this conference, and this is their chance to do so.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that kind of the biggest thing that's going to come down to is can Alan Bowman and this OK State offense beat this Utah down to?
Yeah.
I think Cam's going to put enough points on the board to keep this team honest and keep this team in the game. It's just whether or not that team's offense can hold up what they're doing offensively against his Utah defense, and I don't think they're going to. This is going to be a close game, definitely, but I got Utah winning by 6.
Yep. I think probably I'm going to say Utah by 10 in this one. I'm going to say they cover, and I'm going to say Utah by 10.
Yeah, I think they cover as well. I got them by 6. I will say this though, and I said it last week, and I'm going to continue to say it this week. The coaching staff this season, that they need to. This is their job, man. I don't want to hear that's just Cam. He's just the ultimate competitor. That's just how he plays.
Right. You've got to get Cam in check. You've absolutely got to say, Cam, this is not going to work, dude. You have got to get out of bounds. You've got to put yourself in every situation. The bulk of our season starts now.
Yes.
We have no room. You have to get all the rust knocked off. This is when our season starts, and this is our path to a college football playoff.
Absolutely. A lot of importance is coming on this game. A lot of importance on this. We've got 2 teams in Utah playing the top 2 teams in this conference other than Utah. Utah was favored by most of the national media on this one. And then you also have Oklahoma State, who we're playing. Well, basically, I would have to say whoever wins this game is kind of in a favorable position to be in the conference championship game. I think that's the importance of this game right here. And then we also have our friends down the road there that are playing Kansas State. Yeah. And they are considered a top 3 team in this league. Yeah. So
we got a comment from Greg Hawk. I can't. Where's the?
You got to click it. There you go.
Oh, there it is. Greg Hawkins said, just joined. I think that the key matchup here will be OSU offense versus Utah defense. Go Utes. Absolutely, Greg. I mean, that's kind of exactly what we were saying there. Is the OSU offense is going to be the catalyst for this team. Mm-hmm. I don't think they were going to be nearly as effective as they're going to need to be to actually win this ball game.
Yeah. I don't think so. I think you're right on that one. I definitely think it's important. This has got to be another one of those things where, Cam has a talent to throw the ball, and that's all it needs. Like, the problem is with the Baylor game, he needs to understand his competitive balance. That Baylor game did not need his legs. He could have just stayed back in the pocket and threw.
Especially because we were hammering those guys, man.
Everything offensively they wanted, they got. Yeah. So there was no need for him to get out of the pocket and try and dive and do these situations. I watched.
Yeah, he needed to just throw that ball away about 3 seconds earlier and move on to the next one.
Yeah, there was no chance. He had no chance of that being an issue. So I 100% agree with there. Now, I would be remiss to not jump in and talk a little bit about the BYU game coming up. So, in case McKinley is in the chat, I do feel like we got to take care of our normal contributor to the channel. So let's go ahead and quickly talk about what BYU's got going on down south there. They're welcoming in Kansas State, which is, again, like I mentioned, one of the top 3 schools in this conference. Yeah. Now BYU did take care of their business against Wyoming and absolutely, just dump trucked Wyoming this weekend, which is, like, we worried that could have been a trap game for them, and they took care of business. So that's awesome. Now Chris Kleiman is a very, very, his team, K-State, they are a very, very, very physical team. They also are a very fast team, faster than what most people realize.
Yep, especially with Avery Johnson, a quarterback.
Avery Johnson.
I am aware Avery Johnson's a quarterback, for the record.
Why wouldn't you be aware of that?
There were some comments in our Big 12 video where I said running backs Avery Johnson, and someone's like, "This guy doesn't even know Avery Johnson's a quarterback."
Oh, for crying out loud, guys!
I'm fully aware. I actually do watch football sometimes.
Appreciate it, guys. Thanks for keeping us honest in the comments. We love it. Keep it coming. But yeah, so what I think, how this game, like this BYU team came across double digits underdogs against SMU to come away with a win on that one. Yeah, questionable quarterback play. No question there. The last 3 games, very questionable quarterback play. However, they weren't supposed to win that game, and they handled their business against Wyoming, who can always be just a thorn in any Utah school's side, right? Yeah. I think if you find a way to get a win against K-State, this will change the way everybody is thinking about BYU season this year.
This changes the whole trajectory for BYU. No doubt about it. But
it puts them on if they get a win here, this would be a fast pass for them.
But I'm going to be honest with you. I think K-State absolutely runs them over. I think that all of these little deficiencies that they've had up to this point, I think was they managed the defense, kind of held them in games long enough. there's no more margin for error in any of these games, right? You're paying lesser competitors. I mean, SMU is an up and coming program, but they're still not Kansas State, who's who's playing for potentially a conference championship and a chance at a college football playoff this year. So Kansas State is the next level of football team.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're absolutely right. If for some reason BYU beats K-State, it will be an absolute uprisal from all Cougars fans for sure. But I don't know if they're ready to go to that level with the quarterback play that they currently have, the inconsistent wide receiver play, and a defense that is holding them in games but not winning them games.
No, I 100% agree. I do think they're in a position to put themselves in a great spot for the rest of the year. I just want to give them the flowers that they are 3-0. They did take care of business so far, just like the Utes have so far.
And every BYU fan is saying they're coming for us.
And every BYU fan have had to hear doubts that they weren't going to win a game this year outside. For them, I want to just tip our caps, let them know they are 3-0 right now.
Yep, same record as the Utes.
Same record as the Utes, taking care of business and going up against one of the best teams in this conference. And you know what? I wish them luck. If they somehow knock them off, that's just better for the Utes, right? So, unfortunately, I'm with you. I don't think it happens.
Correct.
We want to hear from you folks. Let us know in the comments down below. What are you predicting for this weekend in college football here in Utah? Is Utah going to come away with a win there down there in Stillwater? We want to hear from you.
Yeah.
What are your scores? Do you think that the Utes cover just like we think? Again, not a betting channel, so we just got to be clear on that part. And also, we want to hear from you BYU fans as well. Let us know what you think about your guys' chances against K-State there. So we'd love to hear from you. Let us know in the comments down below. Yep.
And if you're watching on YouTube on one of our short videos or watching on the live stream, just know this is available, the complete episode as a podcast, wherever you get your audio only.
Absolutely. All right. So let's go ahead and pivot on over to, actually, before we do that, we just wrap that up. Let me cut that part out.
Okay.
Also, folks, thank you very much for getting this channel all the way to 1,000 subscribers. We are on the grind to get $500 in AdSense revenue that we will be giving back to you, our subscribers. 5 subscribers are each going to earn $100 each. So if you have not yet, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on that giveaway. Smash that like button for your boy AJ right there.
Yep. And make sure you down there check out our store. We got some cool merch in there. Check it out.
Absolutely. New shirts.
Yeah, new shirts.
By the way, the hoodies are backwards, by the way.
I know. They all are. You have to click on the shirts. I've got to get
click on it. They got some great designs on them.
Yeah.
Great designs on them. You got to check them out.
I'll get it fixed.
Cool. Pretty cool. All right. So let's go ahead and pivot on over to a little bit of Utah Jazz, shall we?
Yep. Let's do it.
Okay. So this is where we do this thingy here.
We're going Jazz next, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Let's go ahead and you're going to be ready for the lights?
Yes.
Okay. This is how the live stream goes, folks. All right, let's go ahead and talk about your Utah Jazz.
What up? And we're back.
I always time that drink wrong. I don't know why. I should do it faster, right?
Yeah.
All right. So
that one goes that intro is a lot faster than our other ones.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's 7 seconds. Yeah, we want to keep. YouTube attention span's not so great, so we got to keep at it. So, but yeah, are we still working on are we still doing good over there?
I don't know. It says 0 people are watching on Instagram, so no.
Lots of people joined though. That's cool. Appreciate it. We're getting used to that side of things. So if you're joining us on Instagram, we probably can't see your comments. So join us on YouTube. Check it out.
We appreciate you either way.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and talk a little about Utah Jazz basketball here. Now, so it's a strategy on YouTube if you are creatively bankrupt to run a part 2 on your most popular video.
Yes.
So the most watched video on this channel is actually Utah Jazz, the end of an era, which is a video we put out a while ago.
Yep.
Which is still getting a lot.
Which was a fantastic video. Make sure you check that one out. We'll put a link to it right there.
Yes, absolutely. Check that one out. Now it's time for us to do a part 2 to that video. Now,
the fact is another era is ending, Darren.
Yes. In that video, we talked about how remodeling, we don't want to blow it all up, but how the remodeling of the arena is going to change things because of the Utah Hockey Club joining us. It's going to change the layout, and so it's going to change the layout, so it's not going to be the same ever again, right?
Right.
Well, something just happened again this week that's also going to change Jazz games again. So let's go ahead and break down why it is also important to make sure that you go to as many Jazz games as you possibly can this year. And this is unfortunately a part 2 to that video. It's not because we're creatively bankrupt. It's just because the team just made an announcement that's forced us to make a part 2. You want to break it down?
Yep. On September 13th, 2024, Dan Roberts, the public address announcer for the Utah Jazz, our Utah Jazz, announced that he will be retiring after the 2024 and 2025 season. Dan has been with the program since 1979.
He's been with the team.
He has held the position since 1979.
Mm-hmm.
The entirety of the team's stay in Utah, and is currently the longest tenured PA announcer in the NBA.
That's right, 45 years. It's insane. First of all, that's insane. And honestly, it's just when you go into a Jazz game, you get there early enough and you get to hear about them Jazz, as they run on the court. That's just iconic. This team has had a lot of icons on it, the statues outside. Who could forget Hot Rod Hundley, the legendary, with a gentle push and a mile arc, the cowhide glow to hits home and hippie hopping and you gotta love it, baby, all that stuff. When you're in the game, there's no more iconic voice in NBA than our boy Dan Roberts.
You know what's crazy is I remember going to the Jazz game over multiple different seasons and being like, I wonder how they get the in-game guy to sound the same every single year. It took me a while to realize it's been the same guy forever. Literally since they brought the franchise to Utah, they've had the same PA announcer the whole time. And then his son Jeremy is also a PA announcer.
Yeah, he's actually covered a few times.
And yeah, he has covered. He's filled in on a few occasions when Dan's not available or whatever. And he sounds almost exactly like him.
Oh, for sure. Almost exactly the same.
You would have to be watching. You couldn't be listening to see it was a difference. You'd have to be watching.
Yeah, it's insane. And it kind of goes a little bit more beyond that. Before he got the gig, as he was the announcer for the ABA Utah Stars team.
Yeah.
Which again was the voice of the University of Utah basketball team as well.
Yep.
So this guy's been calling games and being the public announcer for games here in Utah for quite a long time. This is a quote from Ron Boone, who's heard his voice more than anybody else because he was a player for the Stars in the ABA. Dan is the best in the league. His voice defines Utah basketball, and he sets himself apart from everyone else. Yeah, man, this is his last year. If you have not been to a Utah Jazz game in a while, this is really the last time you're going to be able to hear that legendary voice, call the games, call the shots, call the fouls. And, it's again, an end of year.
Take your time, enjoy it, enjoy the arena as it sits right now before they get it under construction a little bit further. Enjoy Dan Roberts and his excellence that is the longest tenured NBA PA announcer. This is going to be a really unique season, Utah Jazz fans. It's going to be everything changes after this year. Go sit at the games, cheer on these young kids, and let's watch some Jazz basketball. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. I mean, there is one thing I hope does change after this year, but we'll get into that later.
It's a different video, Darren.
We want to hear from you folks. Let us know in the comments down below what you think about the announcement that our legendary PA announcer Dan Roberts is retiring. We want to hear from you guys. Let us know in the comments down below. Who do you think is going to replace him? Do you think it's just going to be a Nepo thing where we just roll it into his son Jeremy, let him take over? I'm all right with that. I'll be okay. I'll be perfectly fine with that.
Doesn't hurt my feelings at all.
Doesn't hurt my feelings at all. We want to hear from you folks. Also, keep in mind, folks, we did just launch our own channel covering your Utah Jazz called Utah Jazz DNA. If you're watching this on our main channel, DNA Sports Recap, a link to Utah Jazz will be in the description below. This is where you're going to find all your Utah Jazz coverage first before it goes onto our main channel, DNA Sports Recap. If you're watching this on Utah Jazz DNA, we would really appreciate a subscribe and a like if you enjoy this content. If you're following us for our Utah Jazz content, once this channel hits 1,000 subscribers, we're giving away one of those sweet new Utah Jazz black jerseys. So make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss out on that giveaway.
Yep. And if you're watching on YouTube on one of our short videos or you're watching on the live stream, just know this is available as a podcast, wherever you get your audio, the whole episode, audio only once we're done here.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Once again, folks, we did make it to 1,000 subscribers on DNA Sports Recap. If you have not subscribed yet, please hit that subscribe button. We'll be giving the first $500 that we earn in AdSense revenue back to y'all. So make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, because as that AdSense money rolls in, that money's going to roll right back up to you.
Exactly.
All right. So let's go ahead and pivot on over. Let's go ahead and hit a comment here real fast before we get into that. It looks like we did just get another one here. Let's see here. This is coming from Greg Hawkins. It's been so hard to sit through the Ainge rebuilds. I believe his strategy. I believe it sucks in his strategy, but it sucks in the interim. Absolutely.
100% agree.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you there on that one, Greg. But I do think it kind of goes a little bit deeper than that. I don't really have.
It'd be nice to know the direction.
Not only that, but I'm not sure that they realize. I don't think Danny Ainge realizes that building the Jazz is not the same as building the Celtics.
Well, I think he might have thought that when he started this whole task. I think that he's realizing that now.
You think he got the point now?
I think after one off season and a good solid, oh wow, yeah, no, people don't just want to come to Salt Lake City for no reason.
6 failed trade attempts.
I mean, I
agree with you there.
I hope that he can figure it out. I have faith that Ainge will make something work. He's not going to put us in a worse position than we were before, because if you remember, the Jazz, when we had Rudy and Donovan, were a team with 0 trade assets. Mm-hmm. We were maxed out on all of our contracts. We owed everybody maxes. And I mean, yeah, we had a bunch of good players. We had Mike Conley and Royce Donovan O'Neal. Mitchell, Royce O'Neal, Bojan Bogdanovic, like you name it.
We had a good squad.
But we had nothing for the future.
Right.
And we can't say that now. We've got some young players that are looking to make some noise in this league, that are talented, that will be good. And we just got to keep supporting these guys.
You know my stance on that, right? Until you get one ring, F the future. You got to get that first one, and then you can start worrying about building a long-term contender. You got to win one before you start worrying about that.
I know you always yell at me for this.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. We'll get there.
We'll get there. It's fine.
You're learning.
Everything's fine.
Everything's great in Jazzland, for sure. But yeah. Great comment there. I want to go ahead and dive into a little bit more next week on the Utah Jazz and what you're talking about as far as Rudy and Donovan and that regime. I'd like to talk a little bit more about that next week. So be sure to tune in next week. So when we talk about that, you'll be able to hear more about that. That's in the industry what we call ATs.
Do it.
All right. So should we go ahead and talk a little bit about your Utah Hockey Club, shall we?
We should.
Okay.
Do we have one of those fancy intros?
We do.
Hell yeah.
All right, let's go ahead and talk. Well, let's get your hand ready.
No.
Okay, you want to be here? Okay. Let's go ahead and talk about your Utah Hockey Club. How's it going, AJ?
Doing great, buddy.
Good.
Great. Are you excited for Utah Hockey Club conversation?
I am so excited, man. It is game week for this team, man.
It's getting there.
Yeah, we are
there this weekend.
Yeah. It's less than 5 days.
Wow.
Yeah, less than 5 days. Yeah.
That came quick.
Yeah, it did. First preseason game against the St. Louis Blues. St. Louis Blues is happening at the Delta Center this weekend.
No, it's not.
No, it's not?
No, that first game against the St. Louis Blues is actually at Wells Fargo Arena in Des Moines, Iowa. We do have a game against Los Angeles at the Delta Center on 9/23. That's Monday.
What are you talking about?
I'm just talking about the preseason schedule.
Oh my goodness. Did I have that wrong?
Yeah, it's right here. St. Louis, Wells Fargo Arena in Des Moines, Iowa.
Oh my goodness. Google, you failed me.
Too many beers, Darren.
Yeah.
So yeah, 9/22, St. Louis Blues, Wells Fargo Arena, Des Moines, Iowa, 5 p.m.
Yeah, tell me about it, man.
It's going to be a great game. Again, taking place at Wells Fargo Arena. The Blues are a good team, man. They've got some young, talented guys. We definitely want to make sure we keep an eye out for Robert Thomas. He led the team in points last year in the 23-24 season. What are you looking up?
This is right on Google, man.
Yeah, it shows Wells Fargo Arena.
Yeah, it says at Utah Hockey Club. So
yeah, that's weird.
Totally messed that up.
Okay,
my bad, guys.
So, sorry, he led the team in points last year in the 23-24 season with 86 and signed an 8-year, $65 million contract.
Wow.
So at the same time, they actually signed Jordan Kyrou to the exact same contract, 8 years, $65 million. He led the team in goals last year with 31. These two guys were kind of signed together to keep the Blues offensive just deadly, moving forward, keep going. But they did only log 679 minutes on the ice last year on the 5v5 ice time together. So you didn't see a whole lot of them together, even though that's kind of clear and very apparent that that was the path the Blues are trying to go. So I'm really curious to kind of see how the Utah Hockey Club lineups, who comes out on the ice to start. Obviously, we're thinking it's going to be Clayton Keller, Barrett Hayton, Nick Schmaltz, Mikhail Sergachev, Dean Dursey, and most likely Connor Ingram. And as long as we get those starters out there, I mean, I think we got a great chance against these guys. This is going to be a very exciting young team. We've got a lot of good players on those second and third lines that are going to come out and do everything they can to contribute. So it's really, really, really exciting. What do you got on the Blues game?
Well, first of all, again, we got to temper that this is actually a preseason game.
Yes.
Right? I know we're excited. We're treating this like a regular season game, but dang it, this is our first preseason hockey game. So we are super excited about it, but we realize it's just preseason. So there's not a whole lot we're going to be able to take away from this, but we're treating it like it is one. Dang it.
Absolutely.
All right. So the Blues were 43-33 last season, good for 9th in the West. They had a losing record on the road, which was 18-19 last year. They actually haven't made the playoffs in the last 2 seasons. They are also projected to miss the playoffs this season as well, with most experts expecting them to trade some of their veteran talent on the defensive end this year. So Utah obviously has added a lot of top talent on this offseason. They are expecting, to need some time to gel and get up to game speed and, really get to know each other right on the ice there. They have been practicing quite a bit, but I am looking forward to seeing, this new defense, what it looks like on the ice, and see how much these young guys get ice time during this preseason game. So hopefully we get to see a lot of the young rookies that we just drafted and get to see some of what we have there before they get shifted off to the affiliates, and, really want to see what this new stout defense that we haven't had for this franchise over the last several years for sure. Definitely looking forward to it.
Yeah, no, this is going to be awesome, dude. I'm really excited for this hockey season to start, to kind of keep learning the team and learning these players. And chime in, guys. Leave us a comment. Let us know who you're most excited about.
Yeah. So the first game that looks like it's going to be, we don't have any. I couldn't find where it's going to be on TV for us. So I'm not sure, but it does say that the Kings game on the 23rd will be on Utah 16. Still didn't know that channel existed, but apparently it does. Utah 16, which is interesting. But yeah, so really looking forward to it, guys. If you guys know where the games are going to be on TV, let us know in the comments down below. We'd love to hear from you on that. We want to hear from you. Whoa, what happened there?
I don't know.
It's got crazy.
Yeah.
We want to hear from you when it comes to for this upcoming game. Let us know in the comments down below. What are you hoping to see out of this preseason game? Again, are you just excited as us about it being, about it being the first hockey that we have, technically a first official hockey game that we have for a Utah franchise?
Yeah.
Are you excited as we are? We want to hear from you and let us know in the comments down below for sure.
Yep. Going to be awesome. And if you guys are watching on YouTube, again, one of our short videos or watched on the live, this whole episode is available as a podcast wherever you get your audio only.
As a reminder, folks, we did just drop our own channel for the Utah hockey team. It's called the Utah Hockey DNA. That's the channel. It's on your face right now, or on my face right now.
Yeah.
If you're watching us on YouTube.
Awesome logo too.
Yeah.
Let us know if we should do jerseys or shirts with this logo on it. Would you wear it?
Yeah. Let us know what you think.
Leave us a comment. Yeah.
Yeah. We're thinking about putting together some merch for the logos for sure. We want to hear from you. Again, on this channel, we are posting all of our Utah hockey content on this channel first. It will also go before it goes out on our main channel, DNA Sports Recap. If you are watching us for a Utah hockey channel, make sure you subscribe to this channel for our Utah. If you're watching us for Utah hockey content, make sure that you subscribe to Utah Hockey DNA. If you're watching this on our main channel, DNA Sports Recap, a link to that channel will be in the description below. And if you're watching this on Utah Hockey DNA, appreciate it. Hit that subscribe button. We'll be giving away one of those sweet new limited edition Utah Hockey Club jerseys.
Yep, that's right.
All right. Yeah, we'd love to hear from you. Okay, so shall we pivot on over to Major League Baseball?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. We kind of went fast there by hockey. Hockey went kind of quick.
We just burned through it, man.
Yeah.
We had stuff to talk about. We got through it.
Yeah.
We didn't have any comments on it that we needed to respond to. That's probably why.
Yeah, that's probably why.
Yeah, because every one of our other content, every other one, we had a bunch of comments on it.
Yeah, which we appreciate because that's part of the show, right?
Yes.
That's the reason why we decided to go live.
It is
not because it's easier for editing, but simply because we wanted to engage with you guys.
It's not the reason.
All right, so let's go ahead and pivot on over to Major League Baseball. Let me get that queued up. You ready to go?
I was born ready, Darren.
All right, here we go. Let's go ahead and talk Major League Baseball.
That's right. You guys see the color change? That's impressive.
That is impressive.
See, that saves us so much time in editing.
Except for right now, where I have to cut all this out.
Yes. Doesn't matter, though. Doesn't matter. That's like a 2-second clip.
Oh, I got to talk to you about that. Why don't we talk about that? It's a show. Something went funky with my editing, so I'll have to talk about that. But all right, let's go ahead and talk about Major League Baseball, shall we? So now, again, just how this works. This news broke probably right after the day we recorded. But I don't know how much of that original series in South Korea that you watched. When the Dodgers played the Padres. Do you remember that when they played in Seoul, South Korea? Do you remember that series way back before the season started? Do you remember that?
I don't, actually.
So on the side of the helmets, they had an advertisement, and it was the team's advertisement they could put on the side of the helmet. The Dodgers had the Guggenheim, the ownership agreement, like the patch that they have on the team. They had it on the side of the helmet. And, at the time, it bothered me, but I'm like, you know what? I don't care. Baseball's back, baby. I don't care. And I get to see Shohei Ohtani in a Dodgers uniform. I just don't care about the stupid little thing on the side of the helmet. Until. Why don't you go ahead and break this down?
The MLB has, technically a couple of years ago, they agreed with a German apparel company, Strauss, to allow them to place their ads on batting helmets during the MLB postseason this year. And then they will also be on the 120 affiliated minor league teams through 25 into the 25 and 20 through the 27 seasons. So their logo will appear on MLB helmets through the postseason and will also appear through the 120 affiliated minor league teams from 2025 through 2027. That's how I meant to say that the first time.
I like it.
But it's only through the postseason, right? These aren't going to be on helmets through the rest of next season or anything. It's only in the postseason.
Oh, it's coming.
Oh, is it?
It's coming.
Oh, no.
Yeah, that's the part.
We're going to be walking billboards, huh?
Yeah. So basically, I don't know if you've seen the logo yet. Have you seen it?
Yeah, absolutely.
On the side of the helmet?
Yeah, it's just like a word Strauss, and it's got the little weird peacock or something in the.
Yeah, it's whatever it is. I don't really care.
Ostrich.
It's stupid. Anyway, the ad is 5 inches long by 1 inch thick. It will be on each side of every batting helmet in capital letters, along with the company ostrich logo, like you mentioned, silhouetted in the red square.
That's right.
So
it makes me want to go buy some German apparel. You know what I mean? Like, I just want to jump on the Strauss website right now and be like, what can I buy from these guys?
Some of their stuff isn't actually bad.
I'm sure it's not. If you've got $86 trillion to put fucking helmet stickers on every MLB helmet for the next 8 games.
Yeah. Yeah. So Major League.
Crazy.
Yeah. So this is something that's been coming. They've had the patches on the arms now for several years now.
Right.
Ironically, there are about like 8 teams that don't have a patch on their arm.
Quickcrete is a great product.
It looks stupid, man.
Quickcrete is a great product.
It's a great product, but man,
tune in, leave us a comment. Let me know how much you love
Quickcrete
and watching the Atlanta Braves. We can be friends.
It's just the dumbest patch on a jersey, man. Not as bad.
Quickcrete is a great product.
It is a great product. And,
thank you.
They need to use some of that Quickcrete on that wall in the outfield. And that balls just bounce off the top of it and come back into play.
Dude, that not crazy? Hey, how many home runs did Shohei hit against Braves?
None.
And how many stolen bases did he have?
One.
Just one. We'll take that.
Yeah, you didn't walk him, so
No, we did walk him.
You didn't intentionally walk him.
We didn't intentionally walk him, but we did. We did walk him once on accident. Yeah. That was not on purpose, though.
That series broke out exactly how I was expecting it to. It even split.
Yeah, split him.
Freaking knew it, man.
And what's crazy is it was ass whippings both ways too.
Right?
Like, it wasn't ever a close game,
right?
Like actually, the third game was the best one. That was like what 2-2 into the ninth.
Yeah.
And then Iglesias just absolutely throws the game away and gives up 8 runs in the 9th inning.
Yeah, I think he had like 2 runs he's given up since the All-Star break then.
He hadn't given up an earned run since the All-Star break.
Okay.
An earned run, period. And then he gave up 7.
Yeah, wow.
To the Dodgers in the 9th inning.
Dodgers scored 18 unanswered runs in the last 2 games of that
series.
Series.
Dude, it was just an absolute shit show.
Wow, it was a crazy game. Crazy series. But you got a chance to beat up on 2 of the Dodgers pitchers that you guys got to what's his name? I didn't think you were going to beat him, but I did think you guys were going to beat Bobby Miller. So I was Bobby Miller and Landon Knack. When I saw those two guys were starting, I'm like,
yeah,
we're losing 2 of these games for sure.
we're going down.
Yeah, but it is what it is. I could digress there. I don't know, man. I don't think this is the end. When we see the caps, this isn't the end. Think about it. When you're watching a game, what do you see more? Do you see the arm or do you see the side of the helmet?
I think the arm.
No, you see the side of the helmet more.
Do you?
In the batter's box, and you see.
I guess that's true. When you're turned looking at any image of the player, you're going to see the side of their helmet.
Yeah, you're not going to see the side of their arm. You're not even going to see the front of their helmet.
Front, though, it's not like when they're just showing the standard pitching, right? When you got like pitcher here, batter here, whatever.
Yes.
On camera, it's reversed, right? Pitcher would be here, batter would be here.
Yes.
But
thank you for clarifying that on for our YouTube.
You guys are all welcome for my excellence.
Yeah.
But anyways,
that will be unobstructed. Yes.
Obviously, you can see the patch on their arm a little bit easier than you can what I would assume would be a logo on a helmet.
Yes, but when they zoom into the batter, which they will always do
from that side view, like from a dugout
not
view.
Just from one team. Every team in Major League Baseball in the playoffs are going to see this on both sides of every single helmet.
Correct. Yeah, there's not a limited amount. Everybody's going to get this. Every playoff team's getting logo helmets.
I don't think there's anything in baseball I hate more than this. This has been the year of baseball really screwing up jerseys. Let's just be honest. It's been a really bad year for baseball when it comes to jerseys.
Yes.
This takes the cake for me, man. The see-through pants, the freaking, the logo being too small.
I just can't think of how anything more than Quikrete is such a great product. Because every time I watch a Braves game, that's all I can see, and that's all I think about is, damn, Quikrete is such a great product. And I really wish
it is a good product. It is a good product.
I wish I had a reason to use some Quikrete.
Yeah, you come over, dude. Come over. I'll give you.
We got some Quikrete purposes.
I got a few
Quikrete purposes for days.
Yeah, I got a few for sure. But yeah, anyway, so I don't know, man. On this whole thing, I think this is just the beginning. I don't know. We watched a lot of Mexican League baseball. Shout out to our boy Trevor Bauer,
friend of the channel.
We has no idea we exist, but we've watched a lot of that, and you could just see patches everywhere. And I think that's just
all over the place.
That's gonna be a future, man. It's in a lot of other sports, and I hate it.
The thing is anybody will pay anything to get their name on a screen that millions of people are watching.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I wish anybody would pay us like $12 to watch the screen that, like, look, there's 7 people watching us right now.
Fantastic. Appreciate it. Thanks, guys, for turning in for all this.
7 people. We appreciate every one of you.
I really appreciate it. But yeah, man, I absolutely hate it. I think it's terrible, but I do think this is not going to be the end. I do see that this being something that I believe, if I read correctly, it's going to be in regular season games after next season.
It will be. Yes, that's correct.
And I just really don't like it. I think it's ridiculous. Hopefully it's going to be something that I can just ignore, because like I said, when I was watching the Mexican League and I saw all those teams and all those it blurred in the background. I didn't see any logos.
It just mushes together.
Yeah.
After a certain point, it just all mushes.
Except for the tequila logo. I noticed that one, of course.
Boom.
Yeah. But yeah, so I don't know. I really don't like it. Really love to hear from you folks. Let us know what you think in the comments down below when it comes to that. What you think in regards to the logos showing up on the helmets for this postseason. Is it something, nothing, or everything to you? Do you hate as much as I do? Let us know in the comments. We'd love to hear from you on that.
Yeah. Oh, we got a comment.
Yeah, we got a few here. Let's jump into that. So the first one here from Greg is, who do you think makes the NL wild card, Braves or Mets?
Come on, Greg.
If
you've been watching,
it's obviously the Mets.
It's definitely Braves.
Obviously the Mets.
The Braves are going to pull it out. Guaranteed. Braves got this. Go Braves.
Yeah, I actually do think that the possibility of they could both make it. And I think that Arizona's going to fall out.
Yeah,
I baseball left for that.
The Braves are going to get it together. They are steadily climbing. We need to get a little bit of pitching back, but I'm not complaining about pitching. Okay. We got some solid guys in our rotations. Yeah, I'm more complaining about our offensive strategies, which is, let's not hit the ball at all for a full game. And then hopefully we can win. Yeah. 2 games. Yeah, that's fine. We'll just score 0 runs in 2 games.
Absolutely. I do think the Braves have a good shot there, but it's going to be fun to watch down the stretch. Not just the NL wildcard.
They did win tonight, though.
The NL,
they needed that win against the Reds.
Nice.
Yeah.
The NL West is starting to heat up.
Yeah.
The Dodgers, took a hard loss to the Marlins last night.
2 hard losses to the Braves.
Yeah, it's split the series. That's what we were expecting. On the road, we're starting players that don't have any business being on a major league roster.
Go Braves.
I was expecting a split, but yeah, we would have liked to win them.
Go Braves.
But
can you guys hear that at home? Go Braves.
Oh, dude, seriously, yeah, they can hear it. But yeah, so right now the San Diego Padres are only, at the time of recording, are only 3.5 games out of the National League lead.
That's a scary team coming on the backside of the season.
And the Padres and the Dodgers have a 3-game set against each other to end up.
Those are all head-to-heads then. Those are all, every single one of those games swings it.
Yeah, so lately it's been the Dodgers have like a 10-game lead at this time of the year, and they can basically just figure out what their postseason
set it in cruise
line
control and
up,
just go. Yeah,
and they basically fell flat on their face. This is the first time where every game matters right down to the end.
Yeah.
You want to be one of the top 2 teams in the National League.
I like this for the Braves.
Yeah,
yeah. I mean, I like, especially because, like you said, every game matters coming down the stretch. This is where you need to be, where you're getting in, and starting to playing your best baseball and understanding your rotations and guys that you have and coming back. And this, I'm okay with this.
Yeah. Like we said last year at the end of the season, your season doesn't start until you guys get past the Phillies.
Yeah.
Mine doesn't start until we get out of the first round of the playoffs.
Exactly.
So that's just basically how that's going to go for sure. We got another comment here from Greg there. Can someone help me understand why my Cubs are paying through the nose to win 9 games under their expected win total
or something like that? They got a great pitching staff. I mean, they've done a really, really good job with their pitching staff.
I think Bellinger had a little bit of retreat to the norm for him. His power's definitely down. He's not batting 300 this year. Shota Imanaga has been really good, really solid most of the season.
Imanaga's been so good. And honestly, some of the relievers on that Cubs pitching staff, when the Braves played that series against them, I was like, who are some of these? They're just coming out throwing straight fire pitches. I mean, a lot of off-speed stuff. Like the Braves had no idea what was going on. Their pitching staff looked great. And you're going to pay for that. When you've got a relieving staff that is that good, the problem is the Cubs need to obviously generate some offense.
Yeah, it comes a lot to the offensive side. Again, it was really nice to see Dansby Swanson in the last month and a half of the season not steal money from the Cubs like he has been. You know, Dansby, he's gotten some pop too. It's been great to see him actually perform to that contract.
Absolutely.
So, last couple of it. You want that for the full season though. You can't be that inconsistent. So yeah, I just think it's some inconsistency play. Obviously Bellinger retreating to the norm there. He's not the batting 300 guy that he was last year. And if you guys are getting, I think, better down the stretch than you were before. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know what your over the last 10 games are. Correct me, Greg, if I'm wrong there. But yeah, I just think you had a rough early part of the season there. I think the Cubs will have a better year next year. But man, the Brewers, man, they just keep plugging along. They just keep winning, man. They just keep winning.
Yeah,
it's been tough to watch for sure. But yeah,
I was just looking at the Cubs to see kind of where they're at. 77 and 75. They're 11 games back.
Yeah, and they were
the Brewers. Yeah,
they just lost to the Brewers today, didn't they?
I think they did. Yeah, I think I just
5-3 or something like that. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's tough, man. Tough, Greg. Sorry to crap on that, but man, the Brewers are just winning, man. They're just winning games. So it must be tough to watch, man. But we're there with you for sure. We stole counsel. Yeah, we did steal counsel from the Brewers, and they clinched the division. See, that's just kind of how it works, man. There's a little bit of blowback from that for sure. For sure. Oh, do not. I
do love that Cubs infielder though. Pete Crow Armstrong, the center fielder.
Oh yeah.
That dude is a stud. Make sure you guys keep him. He's ridiculous.
He is. Let's see here. The bullpen is really good, but had a rough June and May. Yeah. For sure. And he also said, this is great. Lost to the A's today.
Oh no.
I thought you guys played the Brewers today.
Nope. They lost to the A's.
Oh my God. Oh dear.
Boo.
Oh man, that's rough.
Nobody wants to see a loss to the A's, man. We've all been there.
Yeah, that's true.
Somehow the Oakland Athletics have managed to win 67 games this year.
Yeah, which is insane because they're not the worst team in baseball, which is going to be the Chicago White Sox.
How are they not though? You've got to be one of the worst teams in baseball.
I think they're doing it just to spite their owner, man.
They're just giving him the big middle finger. They're just like, oh yeah, we'll go where we want.
Yeah, good luck playing in Sacramento though, for sure.
Yeah.
Sacramento for the next 2 years. We'll see if they actually end up in Vegas. So there's still not even any deciding factor.
Still vote Utah. Gonna be honest with you.
Yeah,
transfer that team
here, man. You have to sell the team, but yeah, we don't want him as an owner.
Yeah, I don't care if they sell it. Yeah, Ryan Smith. Oh, actually, not Ryan Smith. That would be
the Millers.
That would be the Millers. But they will put up the money to buy the A's.
They will, and they want controlling of that. We don't have any update on that lately, which is really funny because when that all broke, when they signed that.
Huge.
They signed that 1.8
Yeah.
billion into saying that we're going to get for Major League Baseball 900 million for baseball, 900 million for hockey. I could have sworn my last dollar to you that it was going to happen baseball first before hockey.
Oh yeah,
could have sworn that was going to happen, but it didn't. There, I hope we get an MLB team in Utah. The Miller development looks so good. It does, man. It does. If it gets built anywhere, looking anywhere half that good,
that power district, and it's crazy. Have you been down there lately? The power district. I'm in the industry, so I'm in that area quite a bit. But they're already building like the townhomes and stuff next to the power district. That it's in all of those like prerequisite drawings.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
that's very cool.
So they're already building all the low income housing, that kind of stuff. Like that's pretty crazy. I mean, you can tell that area is definitely 100% shovel ready because they could dig in today and start getting that thing up. Have you seen how fast the Daybreak Stadium's going up?
Yeah, I have.
That's crazy. Fast. That is crazy, dude, that they can just build a stadium that fast.
Yeah, it's incredible. It's pretty cool.
The Bees will be there next year.
I know. So that means we'll have Smith Bowl Ballpark just empty downtown. So.
No, the University of Utah is going to play baseball there most likely next season. Most likely that it hasn't been officially announced yet, but
yeah,
they do have a resident because the University of Utah is building a brand new stadium on campus to hold 3,000. Yeah, to hold 3,000 people there. So
yeah, that'll be good.
They are working on it. They need a place to play next season.
We need to go watch some games, some Utah baseball games.
I would love that.
That'd be fantastic.
That would be fantastic.
They'd be awesome.
Yeah. And they're cheap too, dude.
Oh yeah.
Seats are like $10-15 a piece.
Absolutely. It'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
We want to hear from you folks. Let us know in the comments down below what you think of the helmets. We're going to be doing another episode next week when it comes to crunch time going to the playoffs. Our biggest concerns, what we're looking forward to, that kind of stuff. So be sure to check that out next week. We'll be tuning in for that for sure. You got anything else on baseball?
Nope. If you're watching on YouTube on one of our short videos, if you're watching on the live stream, just know this is available as a podcast, the complete episode, wherever you get your audio only.
That's right. And once again, folks, we did hit 1,000 subscribers on this channel. So if you have not yet, please hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and smash that like button for your boy AJ right over there.
Smash it.
Once we hit $500 in AdSense revenue, we're giving that back away to our subscribers. 5 subscribers are each going to earn $100 each. So if you have not yet, make sure you hit subscribe, hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on that giveaway.
Yep.
With all that said, my name is Darren. That is AJ, and this has been the DNA Sports Recap.
Till next time, check out our merch down there.
Check it out.